Welcome to the video tutorial on creating a website with HTML coding. We're going to use just Notepad and code to create our website. So I'm at home, so things might look just a little bit different. Welcome to my messy desktop here at home. But the starting point is you're going to double click on my computer. And creating websites without something like Google Sites that makes it really easy is all about file management. So you're going to click on my computer and you're going to click on your P drive. I'm at home, so I have my own network at home, and mine's called generic net. It's a little different. So you're going to go to your P drive, and then you're going to create a new folder, and you're going to call it your name. My first name is Eric, and then site. Notice there are no spaces in my file. My file name is going to end up being part of my web address. And a web browser like Chrome or Internet Explorer cannot read empty spaces at all. So I know many students name things with blank spaces. You use the space bar. But what Google Sites does automatically for you is put an underscore mark. They put a character in there. We're doing this raw, completely using coding, so you can't rely on that. So there can be no spaces here, and I recommend you use all lowercase letters as well when you create the folder. So mine's called Eric's Site, all one word, all lowercase letters. If you put a space in here, your web page is not going to load. So if it doesn't load, the first thing I'm going to check, or your teacher should check, is did you put spaces in any of the file names or the folders? So let's open this up. And then we're going to make a folder for all our images. Once again, all lowercase, no spaces. I'm going to call it images. And now I'm just going to go back, and I have my Eric site, and I have my folder here for stuff. We're doing this all raw. We're going to use Notepad, which is just a simple text editor. So I'm going to click Start on my bottom. You can't see the Start part. All programs, and I'm going to go to Accessories and look for Notepad. And I'm going to use Notepad to type my code. Let me put this on, so make sure this is on the screen. On the screen here, and it's just a simple text editor. And first thing you want to do is you want, for format, you want to make sure that word wrap is selected. If you don't, it'll just go to the right and not wrap around. And you'll have the scroll bar on the right pulling to the right. Okay, so the text that we're going to be, and hopefully your teacher gave you a handout with the text. And I use the less than, greater than sign. So shift, less than. And the first tag, I'm going to explain these as we go. This tells what version of HTML it is. Doc type, HTML. If you're using HTML5, this is where you would indicate that. We're using very simple HTML, and that's what this is indicating, the simplest form of HTML. And now the browser needs to know this is HTML. So less than, HTML, greater than. Within the code, anything that's within the less than, greater than sign will not be seen on the page. Now we have a header, and the header is also a section that doesn't appear on the website. So I'm just going to do less than, head, but I can put some information here. And I can put a web page title. So I'm going to type title. Greater than. And the title is not the file name. It's not going to appear on the page. But if you've put your website in a favorites folder, that will be what the name is. And that name will appear on the tab within Google Chrome as well. And I'll show that later. So I just call it Eric's website. We're going to make a website about ourselves. And so mine's Eric's website. You can just write your name, your website. Now the less than sign. Now here's an important character. The question mark key, if you don't hold the shift, is a /, and that means end the tag, end title. So this is the title, with both within the codes, within the less than, greater than sign, so you won't see title on the page. And now I need to tell HTML or the web browser that this is where the title ends. So that's what the / means. So I have the less than / title, and that's all within the codes. Okay, so I have the title. And now I can end the head. Say I'm done with a header. There's a lot of other stuff you can do in your header. You can put in search terms so that Google browser search engine will help find stuff. So that's the end of the head. Now I'm onto my body, and I'm going to say body, and this is the body. This is the stuff that's going to appear on the page. And my body code, the first code I'm going to do is the background color of the website. So I'm going to say body and then BG. A lot of these codes kind of are common sense. So BG for body, background, and then color. And then I do the equal sign. Now we use hexadecimal numbers for the background code, and I'll talk about that a little bit. And they have a number. It's RGB, shades of red, shades of blue, shades of green. So we're going to show you just a couple of ways to find those. And now I did a quick Google search for color codes, and it's the hexadecimal color numbers I'm looking for. Indicates shades of red, RGB, shades of green, shades of blue. And here's the cheat sheet. I got W3 Schools, and I did a color code search. I'll have this link available for you. And it has some, there's I think millions of colors that are possible with this. But what we're going to do here, I'm going to pick one of these, and let's go through it and pick one. And the one I'm going to go with is the medium slate blue. That's the one on the sheet. It's right here, number 7B68EE, and I can just copy that and the BG color and paste that in there. If you'll notice that white is all Fs. I don't think they have just white. And 6 zeros would be black. So here's black. It's just 6 zeros. So black is the absence of color. So no reds, no greens, no blues. It would be black. And then all Fs would be white. This is sort of an off-white azure. F0, FFFF. But all Fs would be pure white. And all zeros would be black. And then there's lots of other hexadecimal color pixels. There's a lot more color options than is what is shown or what you'd even want to think about. So next, I'm going to do my text here. So the background color is going to be that azure, that kind of blue, and the text color equals, I'm going to say number, $, 87C, CEFA, and the greater than sign. Okay, so now I'm going to go on and say in my body, talk about the font, space size equals, I'm going to go +4 right now. That's one of the sizes we can have. That'll be kind of a larger size. And then I'm going to have the face. Face is the font style. Face equals. Now I'm going to try. I like Comic Sans MS. Comic Sans MS. Quotations. I need to put each font in quotation marks. And I have to spell it perfectly too. And then if the font is dependent on the end user's computer, so that their computer has to have Comic Sans on it. If it doesn't have Comic Sans, it's going to show just a default text. So I'm going to give it some options. If you can't find, I'm telling HTML, the browser, if you can't find Comic Sans, look for Arial in quotations. ARIAL, quotation, comma. A little bit opposite rule. I've been telling everyone all year the comma comes before the quotation, not in HTML. And then the last one, Arial is a very common PC font, and then the next one is a very common Mac font, Helvetica. Quotation. Okay, now I'm going to go close that out. So those are the fonts it's going to look for. And then I'm starting a paragraph. So P equals paragraph, and then I want it centered. P, and I'm going to say, so paragraph is a line equals center less than, and now I'm going to write Eric Jarvis's site. Okay. So now the Eric Jarvis's site is not within quotation, within the less than greater than sign, so that's going to be seen on the page. Now the next thing that looks really good in a website is a horizontal line. So HR, or horizontal rule. So HR draws a line across the page. Okay, that's what we're going to do next. Now I'm going to say font size. I want a little smaller font size, equals +3. I can leave the color. I can leave the font styles. I didn't say end font anywhere. If I said end font, I'd have to restate the font styles. But I'm going to say font size. That's going to bring it down just a little bit. I'm going to say my name is Eric, and this is my website. Now here's some other fonts that you can do. So I can make Eric underlined. So underscore less than U greater than. So now Eric will be, everything be past this is going to be underlined. So I told it to start underlining, and now I need to tell it to stop underlining. So I'm going to have it stop underlining right after Eric. So less than / U for underline greater than. Now it's going to stop underlining. Another tag I want to introduce really quickly is making something boldface. So that's just a B. Less than B, greater than, bold. And I wanted to stop being bold right after website. Less than, stop being bold / B. There we go. So that looks, I got something here. Now, if I hit the enter key a whole bunch of times, I just want to do this as a demonstration. Hit the enter key. Web browsers don't read blank spaces. And I write hi. I want you just to note where that hi appears. Does it appear after a whole bunch of spaces? And it does not. So now's the important part. So saving everything is really important. So I need to go File, Save As, and I need to save it in that folder that I made. So I go to my P drive. Mine looks different. Eric's site. And I'm going to call it, here's a little thing that this is going to be my main page of my website. And it's kind of standard practice to name the main page of your website index. So if web browsers go to a folder and they don't know which, there's a whole bunch of pages to display in that folder, and they're not being told which one to display, it'll look for index. So usually you call your first page index, or the main page index. So INDEX, no spaces or anything. You can't have a space, period. And this tells it it's a web page, dot, or period, HTML, okay? Very important there. So index.html. And now I'm going to click Save. Okay, so now what I can do, don't close this, okay? Just minimize it. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my Google Chrome. Okay. Let me put this so you can see it. I'm opening Google Chrome and I'm going to open that web page. So I'm going to go Control O for open. And I'm going to look for it here. Whoops. Look for my Eric site. Click on index. Notice it shows the icon of the Chrome. It might show Internet Explorer if your default browser is Internet Explorer. And I'm going to double click that. And here it is. So remember I said, where does that hi appear? I hit the enter key a whole bunch of times and I asked you to think of where that hi, it just appeared right here. So that's for another lesson. Here's the horizontal rule. And this is centered, this is boldface, this is underlined, and there's just a lot more stuff we can do with this. So it's really cool, and that's the first lesson in HTML. Good luck with this. Let me actually do one more thing here. So there's another way we can go about, if we close this here. I can actually go to this and double click on it, and it'll open as a website. So I didn't have to open Chrome first or Internet Explorer browser first. I could just double click it. Now, if I want to open this again, if I've closed my Notepad and I want to open it as Notepad, that's a little bit trickier. I need to open Notepad first. Go to my accessories. Notepad first. And then say File, Open, go to my P drive. I need to say, instead of, it's only looking for text documents over here, I need to say All Files. Okay, and it'll open the HTML. I'm going to open the HTML file in Notepad. Now it can change the coding. And now watch what I do with this high. If I put this in front of it, less than BR, greater than, and take a guess. What do you think BR stands for? It stands for line break or a break. Very good. So now, and I save this. Okay. Now, and I open this, and I just open this normally. Now look at the high. It's on the next line, the break. So you have to tell this to do everything. So there you go. Thanks for being such a great listener, and we're going to continue on making more cool stuff with our webpage.